ready? Kat, you're good?
I'm good.
7:01, good to go. All right. We took the gavel away. Oh, here it is.
Back in the driver's seat.
I missed that. Good evening. Welcome to tonight's December 7th, 2020 Public Council meeting. Mayor Peterson could not be here tonight. She had a personal matter. So with that, can I have the roll call, please?
Councilman Sakala?
Here.
Councilman Massari?
Here.
Councilman Zakelli?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Tonella?
Here, please raise for the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Adequate notice of this meeting was duly provided to the Verona Cedar Grove Times and the Star Ledger by email and published in an annual schedule of meetings dated December 26, 2019, filed with the Township Clerk and posted on the public bulletin board in the municipal building lobby in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act. Item 2, extraordinary business of the Township Council. A, presentation from Breast Cancer Awareness Walk to Minette's Angels. Okay. On behalf of the governing body, I'm honored to present this check to Ken McKenna from Minette's Angels in the amount of $4,539. This money was raised at our annual Wear Pink Walk at Panther Park. I asked Marisa earlier, what do we typically raise each year? And surprisingly, this is just about the same amount of money we've raised every year, which is great considering the circumstances that we had. And one of the reasons why we chose Minette's Angels this year as our, sponsor or the organization we wanted to donate to. For those who don't know, Minette's Angels provides a lot of needed services to cancer patients here within Cedar Grove. So they really do take this money and they use it for good, but they use it for good for Cedar Grove's residents. So it was really nice for them to offer to work with us on the walk and to raise this money. So with that, Ken, it's an honor for me to give this to you.
Thank you.
You want to say a few words?
Sure. Put that down there. I'm Ken McKenna. I'm the president and founder of Minette's Angels. Minette was my wife, passed away 17 years ago now. I want to thank Marissa for thinking of Minette's Angels and including us and the entire town of Cedar Grove for welcoming us. The walk was beyond what I imagined it would be, to be honest. We had a great turnout. We had a wonderful night. And we did really well, even though this check reflects $4,500 raised. There was actually another check that came in after that, directly to the foundation for $2,500. And it was a woman who was there for her niece, who was a survivor, a very young survivor. And she just was overcome by the walk and the foundation, and so she wrote a check directly to us. So from what I'm concerned, I think of the walk as raising over $7,000. And so that's just an amazing amount. As Peter said, we're a local foundation. I lived in Verona for 25 years, and I served on the body there as mayor and councilman, and we were very involved there. We do things on a local level, and a lot of what we do is what we call acts of kindness. And they may be things like a manicure, a pedicure, a night at the movie for the family, gift cards, things of that nature, but things that just hopefully get people to be able to go through the treatment and get past it. And we're a so small organization. We have no staff. We have 8 board members, and they work really hard to get these things done. But we look forward to being back. Hopefully, we're invited back for next year to participate and to be able to bring a little more to the table, to be honest, from our supporters and get a bigger crowd and do even better. So, again, thank you to everybody in Cedar Grove, Marissa, Tom, the council. We really appreciate it. It's even things like this. Just to give you a feel, one of the things that we've gotten involved in is mammograms. And mammograms are a huge issue. And so we're able to provide mammograms to women who don't have insurance. And this check for $4,500 will provide 30 mammograms, because we're able to do that with the hospitals at a discounted rate. 30 mammograms, and if you think about it, 1 in 8 women is going to be diagnosed with breast cancer. So if you do the math, there's a good chance that 4 women will get early detection, hopefully, of their breast cancer as a result of this money raised. And that's really what's important. So trying to head it off at the very beginning. So thank you again. Appreciate being here. I want to say, yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ken. Appreciate it.
Peter, can I say something?
Yes, Mr.
I
Tucci.
just want to thank Ken for being the sponsor of this year's program. Those of us that breast cancer has hit our household, we know what it truly means, and it really hits home, and it really means a lot to us. And I would be remiss if I didn't call out Nancy Walsh and Marisa. Nancy has been our chairperson here in Town Hall for years, since we started this program, and Marisa has run with the ball for many years. You guys do a great job. Hopefully we're going to continue. And there's one more bittersweet thing I need to say at this point. Nancy Walsh will be leaving us, retiring effective December 17th. But I just want to thank her for all of her hard work, dedication, not only as an employee, but as the leader of this program for years. We're going to miss you, and thank you very much for your contribution here.
I'm just going to, what else you need? Do we need something else? You good?
Picture.
Oh, picture. Do you want to do it with the check?
Yes.
What do you want to do with everybody? Yeah, let's get everybody in here.
Everybody in the picture.
We come down or stay
Over here. Let's do it over here. Just a few times.
Nancy, get in the picture.
We're fortunate that we do get a lot of support from
Nancy. Come on. Yeah, Marisa.
You want me to take this?
Yeah, Mark, if you can take the
Yeah.
picture. Marisa. Nancy, over here, Nancy, in the middle.
Horizontally, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here.
Okay, on 3, okay? 1, 2, 3, like it, smiling makes a difference. There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank
There you go.
Yeah, you can sign all these.
Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, I'll text you on.
I'm just going to stay down here for item number 2 on the agenda. Joe, why don't you come on down here, please? Item 2 is the swearing in of Councilman Sakali.
Yeah, it's going to be hung in the telephone.
My friend.
You should watch out when you say, Joe, come down here, because
That's right.
Joe, that's what we were talking
Good point,
about.
good point. No, I mentioned earlier that Carrie Peterson couldn't be here tonight, and she was really upset that she couldn't be here, because Joe, I know she really wanted to be the one to swear you in, so I told her I'd be honored to do it on her behalf. You know, when you think of Joe, it's not remarkable that he's accomplished so much. It's remarkable he's accomplished so much at his age. Joe, it's 23 years young. Joe has already served 5 years on our zoning board, 2 of which were as the vice chair. He was appointed by the governing body 6 months ago to fill a vacancy. He started, maintained, and sold his own landscaping business in town, where he serviced a lot of our residents. He did all this while he was maintaining high honors at Seton Hall Prep, Seton Hall University, and now where he's a second-year law student at Seton Hall. Now, you think of Joe, I think of one word that really describes Joe. It's special. And we here in the government body, we see it. And I think we're going to get a front row seat to see Joe over these next years. will do great things for Cedar Grove. Joe is what I would consider the next generation of leaders. But not only is the next generation of leaders, he's going to be the leader of those next generation of leaders. And here in Cedar Grove, we are so fortunate to have him. I know he loves Cedar Grove from the bottom of his heart. He's born and raised here. And, that's really the passion that drives him. And sitting here just for a short time, for 6 months, I watch how he prepares for the meetings, how much he cares, how passionate he is. It's a real honor to be here with Joe and sit on the council with him. It was ironic. This morning I got a phone call from a longtime resident. We were talking about a lot of things. And unrelated to anything, he felt compelled to tell me, he goes, hey, you know that Joseph Kelly kid? He goes, he's a really good guy. He goes, he has his heart and his mind in the right place. Exact words. I just laughed. It was ironic. I knew I was swearing midtime. I said, man, he wasn't telling me anything I didn't know. I said, I know, you're right. I said, we're really lucky to have him. It was just a really nice thing for somebody to say. And I've heard it from a lot of people who I know who've run into Joe, just to go out of their way to say how nice he is, how lucky we are to have him. And I couldn't agree more. So with that, Joe, it's an honor to swear you in tonight.
The Bible.
Yeah, that's right. Let's do this. Here. Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I, Joseph Sekeli,
I, Joseph Sekeli,
do sincerely profess
do sincerely profess
and swear
and swear
that I do
that I do
and will bear
and will bear
true faith
true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the government
to the government
established in the state
established in the state
under the authority
under the authority
of the people.
of the people.
I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support
I will support
the
the
Constitution
Constitution
of the United
of the
States
United States
of America
and the
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the state of New
of the
Jersey,
state of New Jersey,
and that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform
perform
all the duties of
all the duties of
the office of Councilman of the Township of Cedar Grove,
the office of Councilman of the Township of Cedar Grove,
according to the best of my abilities
according to the best of my abilities
and understanding.
and understanding.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Can you maybe give him a hug or, a handshake? Thank you, now. Great job, Joe.
Yeah, just a few words.
So I'm the incredibly lucky one to be able to serve with such a great group of people up here. When I joined in July, I joined knowing I wanted to always do what was best for the town and the community. And it's nice knowing that I have 4 other members up here who have the same interests in mind. Deputy Mayor, thank you for taking the time to swear me in, the kind words. It's truly appreciated. Everyone up here has taken me with open arms. You've all given me guidance and wisdom, and I'm so grateful. Every time I call any one of you, you answer. You're always there for me. Mr. Tucci, same goes for you. I said it in July, I say it now, and I'll say it again. There's no better town manager in the state than Tom Tucci. I'll go any day to the bank, that's a secure statement. Mr. Cimarero, I thoroughly enjoyed working with you, and Mrs. Gustafson, to you. I look forward to continuing to serve the residents. I pride myself on transparency and availability and doing what's best for the community. And I'm going to wake up every morning with that goal in mind and continue serving the town to the best of my abilities. So thank you, everyone, and for another 6 months or so, hopefully we do this again in July.
We'll be back. All right. All right, item 3, approval of minutes. A, to consider approval of minutes of the regular public meeting of November 2nd, 2020. Is there a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilman Sakala.
Yes.
Councilman Nassari.
Abstain.
Councilman Zakeli.
Yes.
Mayor Tinella.
Yes. Item 4, public hearing. To consider adoption of pending ordinance 20867, the 2021 maximum allowable rent increase. I'm going to open the meeting up for this item and this item only. Anybody wishing to be heard? Seeing none, I close that portion of the meeting. Is there a motion?
Mayor, I move for the adoption of pending ordinance number 20-867 to be published in the Verona Cedar Grove Times as a passed ordinance to take effect as prescribed by law.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilman Sakala.
Yes.
Councilman Masseri.
Yes.
Councilman Zakeli.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Tinello.
Yes. Item 5, award a bid.
Mayor,
Yes.
if I can interrupt you, we would like to withdraw this resolution. It was found that there was a material defect in the bid, so it's
Okay.
going to have to be rebid, so we're withdrawing that item from the agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Tucci. All right, item 6, the meeting is open to residents of the township wishing to be heard on any item on the agenda. Any item on the agenda, there's another part for the residents to be heard for off the agenda, okay? Seeing none, reports of township officials. Mr. Tucci, good evening.
Good evening, Mayor. I only have one item. In your packet, there is a letter from our construction official, John D'Ascensio, announcing his retirement. John has been here approximately 30 years as our construction official, our fire subcode official, and our building official. I just want to wish him the very best. I mean, our loss, I know his family comes first, and, you know, does have issues that he needs to deal with. So I just want to congratulate him on his retirement. I'm very sorry from my end to lose him, and I'm sure the residents of this community are also. But again, I just want to wish him the very best, and whatever he does, the door's always open here in Cedar Falls for him.
Yeah, Mr. Tucci, I'm glad you brought that up. When I saw that in the packet, and, I was sad to see that he was resigning. Obviously, I want to congratulate him, in the next chapter of his life. You think of John as our construction official. I know, just from observing what he's done and just talking with you, he's so much more than just a construction official. He's nothing more, nothing short of your right hand and your go-to person so many times. So, it is a great loss for our town. I would like, if there's no objection, perhaps, and I know we've done this recently, maybe we can present him with some type of recognition for his years of service to the community. I'd like us to do something like that. Maybe in the springtime, John can come back and we can honor him and present it to him. If there's no objection.
No objection, Mayor.
Great.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Toya? Mrs. Stutz, any report?
No report.
No report, Mrs. Stutz. Mr. Cimarero?
Good evening.
Good evening.
No report.
Wow, look at you. All right. Other reports, great. Let's go down the line. Councilman Masseri, any report?
Yes, good evening, Mayor.
Good
Thank
evening.
you. We had our Environmental Commission meeting a few weeks ago for the November meeting, and just to report, the chairperson, David Snyder, who is completing his term this year, will no longer be serving on the committee. He's actually moving out of town. He was a chairman appointed this year. However, he's been on the commission for several years, as far as I know. And he's certainly put in a lot of time and volunteered. So I wanted to acknowledge him, wanted to thank him for his service. He's been very passionate about many different environmental issues in town. Certainly has devoted a lot of time to the Environmental Commission and to Cedar Grove. He's moving on, so I wanted to bring that to the full body to let everybody know in the public, and also for Ms. Stutz, that's going to be another vacancy in the Environmental Commission, so we're going to have to probably put an advertisement out and try to fill those vacancies. I have no other formal report, Mayor. The only thing I just wanted to say it was great I know this year has just been such an unusual year. We did manage to have our tree lighting. And thank you to Mr. Tucci and to the town and Marisa and everybody for at least having it, giving the residents some normalcy. And I wanted to thank everybody, and I just wanted to wish everybody happy holidays. Be safe out there, and look forward to the new year. Thank you.
And just to piggyback on that, if you look at the front of our town hall, it's pretty picturesque right now with all the lighting there. It makes a nice scene for a photo. If you look on our Facebook page, it's
Beautiful.
up there, and I've received a lot of comments from residents saying so.
Yep.
Thank you.
It's a great job. Great job to everybody.
Thank you.
That's all I have, Mayor.
Councilman Segala?
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I echo those sentiments about the tree lighting. I'm glad we were able to do something. Take this off. Glad we were able to do something this year, and then the following day we gave out goodie bags to some of the residents that drove by, and that was also a lot of fun. And I thank you for organizing that, and thank Marisa for organizing that. I just have one question, Mr. Tucci. An email went out earlier
think it was earlier this week or at the end of the week last week, about the use of Panther Park. And basically it said that for people to be aware that there are permitted uses, and when kids are there playing, if somebody with a permitted use is there, the kids should leave the field. And I'm guessing by the tone of the email that maybe there was some, kids being disrespectful or refusing to leave the field. And I hope there's an aberration and not something that happens all the time. I will have this question because I had asked Marisa this back, maybe even over the summer, because I do know that my son and his friends go down there all the time and play pickup games of soccer. And sometimes there's games going on there and they can't play. Or sometimes they're there for 20 minutes and then the team comes and says, hey, you have to leave. I had asked Marisa if there was some way that we can post on the website who is permitted to use the field on a specific day at a specific time. This way, residents like, my son and his friends or anyone else who uses Panther Park has the knowledge that, hey, let's find a different place tonight because it's taken from 8 to 10. And, I guess the answer that Marisa gave me was that it's just something that we don't do, but I'm wondering, is it something we can do?
The answer to your question is something we definitely could look into, and I can get back to you with an answer on that.
Yeah, okay, that would be helpful to all the people that use the field. Thank you.
Yep. Anything else?
I have nothing else, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman.
Happy holidays to everybody.
Councilman Sekeli?
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Two quick things on my end. I'm very happy the town's taking such good initiatives to keep the holiday spirit going. The Christmas tree lighting, handing out the goodie bags, and as I walked in, the table full of the luminary lights, so I encourage the residents to get to Town Hall while they last and pick them up. I believe December 19th, the whole town is going to light them up. The mayor asked I give part of her report, similar to your idea about recognizing Mr. DeCenzio. Patrick Mullen of the Municipal Alliance has served for 20 years on that committee, and he's resigning from the committee, and the mayor was wondering if we could do some type of proclamation or recognition at our next public meeting for him. I thought it was a great idea, and if there are no objections with that, we can...
Yeah, I agree, Councilman. I had the honor of serving for Pat for a long time, and another one who I saw when he was stepping down. I mean, as we say here a lot, our town, we're very lucky here that our town is run by volunteers, and it's run by volunteers like, residents like Pat Mullen, 20 years, every month coming here and spending hours of his own time going through a budget and providing programs for seniors, teenagers, and all different types of programs that impact our town. So I think it's a really great idea to do that for him.
Two other things real quick. Mr. Tucci, I know you met with the Historical Society.
Yes, I did.
If you want to shed some information on that, I know they're actively trying to get the house back in order to reopen tours and expand their membership as well. They offered a membership to the governing body. It's $20 for the year. And that too, they're taking a very nice initiative this year because of COVID to extend their membership and not charge or recharge previous dues. And if you want to shed some light on the meeting with them.
Yeah, just a quick overview. As Councilman Kelly has stated, I did meet with them. We went over a list of items. I think there were some issues with plastering on the second floor, which we already have had a contractor come in and give us some prices we're going to address. There's also an issue with the brick pavers being uneven and needing to be reset. We also were addressing that. We also had a waterproofing company come in. There was some water leakage in the basement because it is an old rubble foundation there. What we're finding is that one of the basement windows is below grade, and that's where the water's coming from. So we're addressing that issue. Also, that was as far as their structural checklist. Also, the township attorney had prepared the lease agreement, and there was just one tweak as far as the insurance is concerned. We just may have to adjust some language. But I think we addressed all their concerns.
Definitely.
We had a very constructive meeting with them. Actually, after that meeting, was myself, the town engineer, Ed Christensen, and Gene Jager. The town engineer went with Ed Christensen back up to go over any loose ends that we had seen. So they did a walkthrough together, and I think things are coming together real nice with them at this point.
It's great to hear.
And Deputy Mayor, I have one item for executive session under personnel.
Personnel. Got it. Perfect. Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you.
The only thing I have to report on, and I'm just going to repeat what my colleagues said with regard to this past weekend, having the Christmas tree lighting on Friday, the virtual Christmas tree lighting on Friday in the rain, which we were able to pull off. Saturday night, it was very cold out, but we were, in the driveway of Town Hall, handing out goodie bags and residents could come through, and you're able to give goodie bags to, young children and wish them happy holidays. And you can see how happy just that little gesture made them and their parents, and they can come and take pictures of the Christmas tree, and then have all these luminaries here that anybody can come pick up at any time. And I just really want to, give, a tremendous amount of credit to, Mr. Tucci, Marisa, and Ms. Sue Varenzia, our town elves here at Town Hall, because if you see the amount of bags that they packed for our residents, it's really tremendous, and they really went out of their way to try to make this year, as normal as possible in these uncertain times. Just want to thank them for it.
And can I add one more?
Yes.
Thank you to your list, the class at St. Catherine's, the volunteers that came, they had to do community service, and they helped put
That's
those
right.
luminary bags together.
Right.
If I
Yeah.
could just add
Yeah.
that and thank them.
Thank you.
Because it was a big, big help to us.
For all of us this weekend who participated, we all said the same thing, it just felt good. You're used to doing this every time of year to kick off the holiday season, and, with COVID, we didn't know what we were to expect, but it wasn't normal, but we were together and we were able to give that same sentiment, which was really nice. And it seemed like it was really well received. And I'm glad we were able to do something as opposed to saying, we can't do anything, which was really nice. So thank you, Mr. Tucci. All right, moving on to the consent agenda on item 8. Mrs. Stutz, are any of these that we can take together?
You can take them all together, just read the items that you are approving.
Perfect.
The synopsis of the.
Okay, great.
items you are approving.
All right, so is there any objection to taking them all together? All right, great. So I'll go through them real quick. A, to consider a resolution concerning 2021 municipal holidays. B, to consider a resolution designating official newspapers of the township for 2021. C, to consider reappointment of representatives to New Jersey Intergovernmental Insurance Fund. D, to consider resolution concerning reappointment of representatives to Community Development Block Grant Committee. E, to consider resolution concerning reappointment of Public Agency Compliance Officer. F, to consider renewal of amusement business license for 2021. G, to consider resolution concerning renewal of amusement device license for 2021. And H, to consider resolution concerning appointment of zoning board member. Is there a motion to approve?
Star move, Mayor. Second, Mayor.
Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilman Sakala.
Yes.
Councilman Masseri.
Yes.
Councilman Zakelli.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Tinella.
Yes. Okay. Moving on to new business on item 9. A, to consider introduction of pending bond ordinance 20868, Public Safety Radio Communications Project. Is there a motion?
I move introduction of pending bond ordinance 20-868 to be published in summary in the Verona Cedar Grove Times as a pending bond ordinance with a public hearing scheduled for December 21st, 2020.
Is there a second? Is there any discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Councilman Sakala.
Yes.
Councilman Masseri.
Yes.
Councilman Zakelli.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Tinella.
Yes. Item B, to consider a resolution concerning amendment of 2020 capital budget. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved, Mayor.
Second? Second?
I'm sorry,
Councilman Sakala said a motion. Councilman Zakelli, a second.
thank you.
Any discussion?
Yes, just what that is. Whenever you do a bonding ordinance, in order to float the bond, you need a down payment. And that's why we had to amend the budget to put the down payment in place for the bonding ordinance, which was the item before.
Thank you, Mr. Tucci. We have a motion, we have a second. Roll call, please.
Councilman Sakala.
Yes.
Councilman Masseri.
Yes.
Councilman Zakelli.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Tinella.
Yes. Item C, to consider resolution concerning 2021 council meeting schedule.
I'll make the motion, Mayor.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilman Sakala?
Yes.
Councilman Messeri?
Yes.
Councilman Zakeli?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Tinella?
Yes. Item D, to consider resolution concerning appointment and reappointment of township officials. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved, Mayor.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilman Sakala?
Yes.
Councilman Messeri?
Yes.
Councilman Zakeli?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Tinella?
Yes. Item E, to consider resolution concerning reappointment of auditor. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved, Mayor.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilman Sakala?
Yes.
Councilman Messeri?
Yes.
Councilman Zakeli?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Tinella?
Yes. Ms. Stutz, I'm just asking, I should have asked you this earlier. Can I take F through Q? It's reading them out? Is there, or should I do these one at a time? I'm just looking here.
I yield to the township attorney, since it's all new business.
Oh, it's all new business? Want me to take it one at a time? I can do that.
You could group them together.
Yeah.
There's,
All right. If there's no objection, I'm gonna put them all together. I'll just start with F. To consider resolution concerning reappointment of bond counsel. G, to consider resolution concerning appointment of municipal housing liaison for affordable housing. H, to consider resolution concerning adoption of affirmative marketing plan. I, to consider resolution concerning cancellation of tax overpayments. J, to consider resolution concerning cancellation of tax overpayments from 2016 and 2017. K, to consider resolution concerning 2021 Police Department employee salaries. L, to consider resolution concerning 2021 Department of Public Works employee salaries. M, to consider resolution concerning cancellation of sewer charges. N, to consider resolution concerning purchase of police utility vehicle through state contract. O, to consider resolution concerning cancellation of outstanding checks. P, to consider resolution concerning transfer of appropriations. And Q, to consider resolution concerning cancellation of 2020 swim pool utility budget appropriations. Is there a motion to approve?
Make the motion, Mayor.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilman Sakala?
Yes.
Councilman Messeri?
Yes.
Councilman Zakeli?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Tinella?
Yes. Item 10, approval of bills.
Be it resolved that the summary of bills, having been duly audited and found correct, are hereby ordered paid in the amount of $896,903.48.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved, Mayor.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? A roll call, please.
Councilman Sakala?
Yes.
Councilman Messeri?
Yes.
Councilman Zakeli?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Tinella?
Yes. Item 11, contracts and agreements. A, to consider resolution concerning award of contract for professional services, affordable housing, legal services. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll move to approve, Mayor.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilman Sakala?
Yes.
Councilman Messeri?
Yes.
Councilman Zakeli?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Tinella?
Yes. Before I move on to item 12, and open the meeting up to the residents, I was remiss, I wanted just to bring one item to the governing body's attention. In our packet, there was a proposed resolution from the Township of Long Hill, and what I'd like to do, if there's no objection, is to put this item on our agenda for our staff meeting. This was a resolution that they're encouraging other governing bodies to pass, involving the opposition of continuing with the affordable housing obligation until the New Jersey legislature really fixes the problem. And if you read the resolution and you see the intent behind it, it's like they've been a fly on the wall in our meetings. It's the same issue Long Hill is feeling, that we are feeling. Nobody is opposed to affordable housing, but what we are all opposed to is how it's being imposed upon communities like Cedar Grove and like Long Hill and every other community in New Jersey. So I would like to encourage our governing body to look at this resolution, and hopefully we'll pass it to support the Township of Long Hill and the other communities who are opposed to the way the affordable housing obligation is being imposed upon us. So is there any objection to putting this on the agenda for our next staff meeting?
No objection.
Oh, great. So Ms. Stutz will take care of that? Thank you.
I will.
Great. All right, moving on. Item 12, the meeting is now open to residents of the township wishing to be heard on any item on or off the agenda concerning township business. Anybody? Would you mind coming forward just to the podium and state your name and your address, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So my name is Jody Lejoy. I live at 35 Cedar Grove Parkway. I'm here tonight to speak to the subject of having a recreation center in Cedar Grove. I'd like to ask the council if it has ever been explored, if it has ever explored this topic, and if so, the outcome. I'd also like to read a petition that we put together to see if there was any support for this idea in the community. This petition received in excess of 200 signatures with very little effort. So can I read this?
Sure, go ahead, please.
Cedar Grove is an incredible town with many features that make it a wonderful place to raise our families. To enhance our community, our ask is that the town council create an indoor space, such as a recreation center, that will be available to our recreation sports programs. As many are aware, we currently rely on space being made available in our schools, and we struggle to accommodate all of the needs. We have cheerleading, wrestling, basketball, indoor hockey, and volleyball programs that all need to be accommodated, many, if not all, during the winter months. With only 4 indoor spaces among our 4 schools, it is very challenging to care for all of these programs. A recreation center in our town would create additional space that can be used for these programs, as well as be a staple for community events that bring us all together for events. With all of our neighboring towns already having dedicated rec space, Cedar Grove is on a very short list of towns without one. Not only would this be an asset for our current residents, but it will also create an increase in the value of our town brings to those who are looking to move into a town with all of the amenities that are valued by families. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ledgway. Thank you for coming down here tonight, especially during these times, and bringing this issue to the council. So I can answer your question about has this issue ever been considered, and it's a resounding yes. I've been on this council for 15 years now, and that was the number one issue when my first ran for town council. I remember sitting right here at our debate during that election, and that issue came up, and the issue on top of that, there's no denying that is something that we would welcome with open arms to have in town. But obviously, the bigger issue is how do you pay for it? You mentioned the surrounding towns, and a lot of our towns do have that. But if you talk to those towns, and I don't want to start naming names, they're choking on the money that they're paying to have those facilities in their town. One of the things that we pride ourselves on in here in Cedar Grove is we really treat the checkbook here like it's our own. Having said all that, I don't disagree that now is not a better time than any to continue to look at that. When I ran 15 years ago, what I had said then, when I was asked about would I be willing to spend the money for a community center, I said, if the residents in town voted a referendum in favor of it, I'd be all in favor of it. And I know I spoke with the mayor earlier today about this particular issue, and I think it's something that, I'd like to see us put it on our, start the discussion, put it on our agenda for our next staff meeting, and let's talk about what is needed for that particular project, and we will also need to take into consideration what other projects that we have in town. I appreciate the fact you got 200 residents with no hesitation. It's probably less than 1% of our overall population. We sit here for everybody, obviously. So there's a lot of factors. But the shorter answer is yes, it's been considered. Yes, it's a desired need. I've talked to the manager on no less than 15, 20 occasions about different scenarios, a bubble, where would we put it? Oh, I'm sitting in the Verona Community Center watching my kids play basketball. Geez, this is a nice facility. I've been in Rahway. We've seen it. It's where's the money going to come from? How are we going to pay for it to build it? And then how are we going to pay for it to maintain that facility? These are all things that we got to take into consideration when we're looking at it. So I'm glad you came down here tonight to bring it to our attention. And what I can tell you is, if there's no objection, we can talk about it at our next staff meeting and, start a dialogue to see what's involved, what have other towns done, and then what would be the next step if this is something that the governing body collectively wanted to pursue. Councilman Kelly?
Just a quick question, Mr. Tucci, if I'm, not mistaken, wasn't a rec center on our most recent capital improvement list?
Actually, it is on the radar. Governing body, I think it was maybe 6-8 months ago, asked me to give you a long-term.
Wish list.
And the community center is one of the main items. We were waiting to see what kind of, cash flows we were going to get. Everybody sees the Camp Mania project. We have a pilot program there, but there are many factors, and there's a lot of projects, like one we just did this evening, which was over $1 million for a police communication system. But is it on our radar? Yes. Is it up in the top quarter? Yes, it is. But you're, like the mayor said, there's factors as far as locating it, financing it, and the continual operation of it. But it's well spoken.
You mentioned it, it's funny, when you were talking, I wrote down a couple of activities. I missed indoor hockey and volleyball. I forgot about those two, because I know basketball, wrestling, and cheerleading haven't had anywhere to go for the longest time, and obviously volleyball has come on real strong in the last few years. And then I completely forgot about indoor hockey. And another group that we also can include in that is our senior citizen population. When we built Panther Park, one of the things that made this governing body get behind the project is, when we were looking to develop it, we wanted to create a facility that had something for everyone. And that's really what we stood behind to do that. And if you go down there at any given day, you'll see all different types of people and ages using that facility. And I think you can take, obviously, you take the same approach here. You mentioned all these different activities. It impacts boys, girls, young, old, as well as maybe our senior citizen population who, can have a place to go. So with that said, I'm glad you came down. Let's put it on our agenda for our staff meeting, and we can start the conversation. If you want to leave, your name and your email and your cell number behind you and Mr. Perry, please do that, and then we can keep you abreast, just to keep you what's going on, and have a dialogue about it. So, I don't know if anybody else had anything else they want to talk.
I think it's a great idea,
Yeah.
putting this, taking initiative and putting this staff.
And I do want to acknowledge that, and to just a couple of things. It is a very small percentage of people that signed the petition, but literally it was a Facebook post, and we got signatures like overnight.
Agreed.
And I'm glad you mentioned the thing about the referendum, because I was thinking today about the Board of Education and all the updates they wanted to make for security.
Right.
This community passed it with flying colors.
Right.
So something like this could probably gain, I would hope,
Right.
support, especially given how young the population is in this town and the families that are moving here. I suspect it would get that.
The nice thing about taking the approach, and again, that's just a suggestion. So unlike the
But it
Board of
gives you a
Education,
sense of,
right,
do we really have support for this? Are people willing to pay for
Yep.
it, right?
and we have an election coming up in May, so if we're able to get our, the thoughts and ideas together, put them together, we can put a question
Right.
on the ballot and see what because you're talking about, to do it right, a significant amount of dollars. I'm thinking, I was going to say 3, you're saying 5 million. I mean, to do it right, if you're going to do the right project, so that's a lot of money to spend on taxpayer dollars. So again, we will talk about it. I think it's a great idea, and it's not like I said, it's council,
Mayor,
Yeah.
let me interrupt, but believe me, I coached 5th and 6th grade girls basketball here in town. I know your frustration is as far as getting a gym, getting times. You have to get out for the next group. You normally have 3 or 4 groups in one evening. It's tough. And then basketball is competing with volleyball, wrestling, and 3 other sports. And the reason why I say 5 is this.
That's a big number.
If we build something and there's only space for one group, we're going to have the same competition that we have right now. You're only going to add one more space to the 4 that the Board of Education. So if you want to build something, so you can have multiple things going on, whether it be cheerleading, whether it be basketball, whether it be wrestling,
Yeah.
no matter, so you could have a couple of items. So you want to build it, you want to
Right.
build it right the first time, because I don't want to go out and spend a lot of money and then afterwards take a step back and say, you know, we missed the boat here. We
Yeah,
missed the boat. So,
potentially.
yeah, we have to plan it the right way, we have to get input from all the groups. I mean, Mayor, you've been through this a number of times.
Yeah.
I can show you sketches of proposed community centers through the years, probably at least 10 proposals.
Yeah.
At least that I can tell you.
Yeah.
I think now, though, more than any time, is probably one of the best times, just because the way what's going on, especially with, all the young couples coming in, and also with, maybe some additional monies coming in from that Cab Median project. None of us wanted that project, but maybe we can, turn that project into something really good for the community, at large, so,
Absolutely.
okay?
Yeah, and I just want to share, it came to the forefront now because of the pandemic. So my daughter does competition cheerleading, and we couldn't practice in the school, right, because the schools won't let that. We literally had to go to another town.
Yeah.
To rent space. And that to me is sad. And it's in a town that I don't think holds a light to Cedar Grove. But yet they were able to accommodate us until they closed.
Right.
And now we're stuck with nothing. We have to cancel, everything because there's no place for these girls to practice. And that's a huge squad of like 60 girls, and it brings in money too, so, thank you.
Yeah.
Mayor, if I could just ask
Yes.
a question, I don't know, Mr. Cimarera or Ms. Stubbs, is it a referendum on a May election, or does it have to be in November?
No.
No, it's gotta be at a general
Okay.
election. You could even have it on a special election, but, you don't wanna do that, you wanna avoid that.
Yeah, we've done in the past special questions when we wanted to get a feeler out for the
I
community.
think you have to
Yeah.
petition the county to get it on the ballot.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a whole
We got time, which is
there's a
good,
whole
yeah.
process to it.
yep. Yep. Anybody else from the public wishing to be heard? No, you're good, okay. All right, seeing none, close that portion of the meeting. Let's see here. Whereas Section 8 of the Open Publics Meeting Act permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting of the mayor and council in certain circumstances, and whereas the mayor and council of the Township of Cedar Grove are of the opinion that such circumstances exist, now therefore be it resolved by the mayor and council of the Township of Cedar Grove, County of Essex, State of New Jersey, that the public shall be excluded from the discussion of any action on the executive session of the meeting of the mayor and council of December 7th, 2020. The general nature of the subject matter to be discussed is personnel. It is anticipated at this time that the above stated subject matter will be made public as soon thereafter as it is deemed in the public interest to do so. This resolution shall take effect immediately. Is there a motion?
Star move, Mayor.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion to dismiss, motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn, Mayor.
Second, all in favor? Aye. All right, thank you.